Now entering Nerdist.com.
Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show.
We seem to have levels.
Oh, shit. Okay. Let's start this thing.
Oh, my God. You just got off stage at the Stand.
Yes.
And there was a weird event at the end of your set.
Strange,
where all I heard was you say, "You're so off base on so many levels, lady."
Well, okay. I'm Laurie Kilmartin, and you're...
I'm Jackie Cation.
Welcome to the
Hey,
Jackie
guys.
and Laurie Show.
Here we are, and it's going to be a weird one because it's midnight.
At the
it's
Stand on a
11:30.
Wednesday. Yeah,
Wednesday.
and the only place we could do our podcast was in this little corner where near the stairs. So the audience will be coming up after in about one more comic. I think Dean Del Rey's the last one.
Dean Del Rey's on stage.
And then they might be interrupting our podcast.
They might be. So.
Hopefully with compliments.
Hopefully.
But yeah, so I just got off stage and I was doing my Spanish, letting my kid drown joke. And so I said, so I pushed him in the water because he can't swim. That's what I say. And some girl goes, "Oh, he sounds like he's a black kid." And I'm like, what?
What?
So that was kind of a showstopper. And then I trashed her for a little bit. And then I went back into it. And everyone was on board.
Yeah, you...
Lately, women have been horrible.
in the audience?
Yeah. The last three shitty encounters with shitty people have been
Drunk ladies? Or
young
sober?
women.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
When I think back to that thing where I said you're going to grow up and have a child with autism because you're dumb.
Right, because we recorded last week's this
morning. Right.
And then I've done 4 sets.
Dude, high five.
I missed, I was supposed to go to XM Sirius, got a text message at 4 p.m. from both Frank Conniff and John Fugelsang saying, "Hey, were you going to come and do Are You Almost Here?"
Oh, no. Did you get the time wrong?
Frank asked me to do it on Wednesday. I wrote them a calendar as Thursday.
Oh, no.
So I'm doing it tomorrow. I was like, I can do it. And John's like, can you do it tomorrow still? And I was like, yeah, it's in my calendar for tomorrow. But so then but I get this. Here's the weirdest thing that's happened. I forgot to tell you. 3 times in the last couple of days.
Yeah.
People have called me asking for Maria Bamford on my phone.
Oh, no.
And I was like, no. And I haven't gotten into it with them because I'm sure that they're either people looking to book her.
Yeah.
Or it's got to be work related. It doesn't sound fan related.
Right.
And so I just called her agent and I was like, hey, did you guys accidentally put my number
Why do
for
people have...
Maria? And Shirley's the assistant. She was like, we don't give anybody's number out. I mean, we only give our number out. And I was like, I have no idea why this would happen 3 times in 2 days.
Nah.
Maybe it's the same place, but I've never asked anybody any info. I just go, nope, this isn't it.
I think the 4th time you start taking her gigs. That's what I say. Be a mercenary.
As soon as I said that it was work-related, I was like, oh, I wonder if I could get some work out of it.
You got to tell me these things earlier.
And I canceled the Friday night because I'm going with Judah out to the East Hampton.
Awesome. That's cool.
I've never been out there. I understand there's a lot of rich white people.
I can't. I wish I've never been there either. I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Well, I had 3 sets tonight. I had one here at the Stand at
Earlier,
9
right,
o'clock,
the 8 o'clock,
and then I
the
had a
9.
9:50 at the Broadway, and then back at the Stand. My son is
Sitting in the bar.
He's been at the Stand all week. He's got headphones on. He's playing Minecraft or watching Smosh videos or stuff. And he's come with me to every set. I've been dragging him to every set.
Just every set?
Yeah. Just like there's always a place to put him. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been the week so far. And
I picked up an extra set. I was doing a 7 p.m. in Brooklyn and Williamsburg.
Yeah.
And then I went over and did in Bed-Stuy Ophira Eisenberg's show.
Oh, cool.
And then I was thinking she might be the comic of the week.
That's a great idea. We forgot to even discuss that. Oh, my God. Yeah.
Ophira Eisenberg, you guys. She's on NPR. She hosts a game show.
Yeah.
We are supposedly voice doppelgangers.
I hear that. I could hear that.
Well,
yeah.
she's from Toronto, and I'm from Wisconsin, so there's a little bit of that northern twang to it.
Yeah.
And she's so funny.
super funny.
It's
and,
Ophira, Eisenberg, like
Yeah.
Eisenberg should be spelled.
Yeah.
And go see her when she does stand up.
Yeah.
She's super funny.
Yeah,
you
she's
guys.
great.
It's at
She just
Ophira
had a
Eisenberg.
kid too, so
Yep.
she's in the mom club now.
Yeah,
and
8 months old, that kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, you to bring it? Bring it. Did you bring him? And she said no.
No, 8-month-old is hard to bring, but
Yeah.
my kid's getting very mobile, and he's great about it. He's jumping a cab. I'll say, "We're gonna go." I yank the headphones out of the iPad.
Yep.
We run to a cab. He's jumping in and putting a seatbelt on and ready
And
to
he's
roll.
on board. That's
He's
so
totally
great.
on board. Yeah.
That is perfect.
He's
So-
never seen. Doesn't watch the show at all. He
No.
just eats. He got a stand hamburger and
I had a stand hamburger for dinner myself.
fucking awesome.
It's
man.
a really good stand hamburger.
Yeah.
I got it no bun in an effort to do some damn thing because I had an ice cream sandwich over in Brooklyn because that's what you do in Brooklyn.
I am so uncomfortable right now.
Are you genuinely uncomfortable?
I'll figure it out. I might be shifting a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I did some leg workout today, and so I'm sitting
cross-legged.
crisscross.
Yeah, yeah.
Or as they used to say, Indian style.
That's we're of a certain age. That's what we call it. We call
Yeah,
it Indian
so
style.
now my knees are
Guess what the Native
screaming.
Americans don't want to hear about? They're how they fucking sat in the movies in the 50s.
So yeah.
And then
so,
I went to Lucky Jack's. Have you ever done that on Orchard?
No.
Oh, 60 people packed in this tiny
Really?
room. Such a good
I'm gonna
room.
hang my foot
Yeah,
down.
yeah. Such a good room. And then I came here and got to do a set.
Yeah.
And the woman who was rude to you was also rude to me. And
She, you know what? She walked when I was sitting watching you and Mark Norman. Maybe when it was you, she walked in and she tripped and almost fell on her face, and I'm like, "Oh, she's drunk."
she's
She's
pretty
like,
trashed.
it's young white drunk woman.
yes,
we all know that woman.
We all know. I was briefly that woman, so I think it's really for the best.
So
That was my first when I saw Sam Kinison. I heckled him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the first time I saw stand-up comedy was Sam Kinison.
Oh, wow.
And I heckled him, and he couldn't shut me up, and they didn't kick me out. I hate me. I hate 18-year-old me.
You
How
had a
about that?
conversation with Sam Kinison, though.
Well, I got to meet Sam Kinison 3 times.
Okay.
That was exciting. His brother owned the club I started at.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So he couldn't pick me out of a lineup, and I was nothing. It was very much a stripper porn star kind of day.
Yeah.
So this has never interested that gentleman.
Yeah.
So we didn't fall in love. It turns out.
Male comics have a type, many of them.
Very much so. Very, very much so. Who's telling me some horror story? Oh, it was my brother. Why wouldn't
Yeah.
he? He was telling me how Ray Charles would figure out if he was talking to a fat girl. My brother Russ telling me that story today at lunch.
Yeah.
Because he's in town.
Oh, right.
And
How did he figure it out?
he'd check the size of their wrists.
Oh, that's
And I guess if
no
they had-
genius. Of course, if you're heavy, your wrists are going to be a little bit bigger.
Right.
I thought it was
Ray
vocally
Charles.
or something.
Oh no!
So I'm
he's
not
blind.
impressed.
It wasn't sort of magic.
That's what I mean. I thought it was
wasn't-
like some
wasn't blind
braille or.
man.
Well, big deal. Any guy can do that.
Exactly.
Ray Charles ain't that great, man.
Exactly. Did you see? I was working on. I
did.
fixed the tantric thing. I think.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got. I just fleshed out a couple of details.
Yeah.
Which always helps. I think.
Yes, I thought you had a really funny set.
Yeah.
I was
it
kind of half looking and then half writing, just
Yeah, you
writing
were
an
working on
idea.
your
So I
set.
wasn't.
I heard you laugh
completely-
twice, which is why I was like. And then I came up here and I was trying to set up the stuff.
Yeah.
And Dean Del Rey was telling a story, so I
Yeah.
didn't get to see most of your set.
Oh, that's
so I saw
fine.
the end.
Well, I did. You know what? I've been with my son. He's been watching so much shit on the
Television?
iPad
Yeah.
that while we're on the train, I'm like, no electronics, and I won't use them either. It'll be just you and me, conversation, eye contact. And then tonight I was like, I gotta fucking listen to a set. So I go,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on my iPhone, and you can play on the iPad on the A train as we come down here. So I did listen to a set, and that always helps me sort of go, oh, there's something missing right here.
Oh, good.
And so I kind of played around with this new joke a little bit, and I forget both ways I told it tonight at the Broadway and at the second set here tonight, but I feel like I got a lead on it, a new
Oh, good.
joke that I'm, that I could flesh out a little bit.
Yeah. It's. I keep forgetting to do some jokes that are more like 9 months old instead
Yeah.
of 3 months old.
Right.
And the 9-month-old jokes need to be worked on too for the new album.
Yeah,
So-
and I do think, maybe I'm just giving myself an excuse, but it's fine to, I feel like I spend the first 5, maybe 4 minutes doing stuff that, it's older and I feel like is kind of done. Like, I've finished it, but I want them to like me, and
Yeah,
then
setting it
it's
up.
like I'm going to do a little bit some darker stuff. You know,
Right.
like I have to lay down the groundwork first. I can't assume they're gonna. I can't just go into a couple jokes. I can't open with them because the crowd will be like, "Who is this lady?" You know, like you're like in almost a constant conversation with the crowd.
Yep.
So night to night, you're like, "Oh, you feel like they've seen you before, but they
Yeah,
mostly
but they have
haven't."
not.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing. It was four sets. Every single set I started out differently
Oh, really?
because I didn't write a set list for any of them.
Yeah.
And I stared at the audience and judged them. And I thought, oh, I don't know about these people. I don't know about these people.
Oh.
And like the one at Lucky Jack's, it was all hipsters and the MC, and I went up first at every set.
Yeah.
And the MC was talking about politics, so I opened up with super old, like Scott Walker, Paul
Oh,
Ryan
yeah.
jokes.
Yeah.
And then went into the newest stuff that this stuff I'm working on. So.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm concerned, it worked out really well. Tonight was the first night I got to do every set. I felt like it was organized for the first time.
Yeah.
It always takes me 4 days to get used to New York.
Yeah.
And I
And
got
how much
here
time
Saturday.
you need and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, you know, just sort of like remember, it's a combination of Uber or cabs and the subway and
Yeah,
walking.
And also, I think like on the weeknights, I don't expect to make money. Like the weekend, you know, if I'm renting from spot to spot, it's not like I'm doing it for the $25.
Right.
Then I spend $14 or $15 on a cab for each one. Thank you,
Mark Norman, who also
hilarious,
always kills it.
hilarious.
Just saw him this week. I think it was Knitting Factory.
Yeah,
Doing a little podcast.
This is Aaron Berg, hilarious, and he
Hello,
was
Aaron Berg.
hosting tonight.
What a great show. You guys.
What's the name of your
Thanks, man.
podcast?
My podcast is called In Hot Water, and it's on Compound Media.
Oh, cool.
Good to know it. Hey
you-
guys, that was a little ad.
Do you have like a premise behind it?
We're just really funny for a while.
Okay.
Oh, we don't
okay.
like to put that pressure on ourselves. We try not to be
Yeah,
funny.
why build that expectation when we may just end up bitching about the 80s? It's
How's the street noise affecting your podcast?
I think
I don't know.
it's making it feel real. I think it's felt fake up until now.
For those of you that can't see what's happening, both these ladies are crouched down by a banister at a comedy club, street level. So behind them is flowers, and juxtaposing that beauty is a ton of trash right behind them.
There's some
so
trash.
it kind of
Welcome
gets
to
what
New
the
York,
podcast
you guys.
is.
Very descriptive.
Very descriptive. Why
The
doesn't
heart of
that
a
guy-
novelist, that Aaron
I'm
Burr.
right. Why isn't he writing fiction? Can you believe that we're only at 12 minutes?
No, it
That can't be
feels like
right.
50.
It can't.
Jesus Christ.
I'm so sorry. Kyle, fix this. Make it really long. Just put it on slow-mo.
Can you talk slower? Big J just walked by us, so he's gonna go in there.
Yeah, he came up to me. He was
Mop
like
it up,
that.
man.
He said that when we mentioned him on the podcast, people came and saw him.
I know, that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're doing good work out there, people that are listening to this show, the
Yeah.
Jackie and Laurie show. What else?
You know
what do
what?
you got tomorrow?
This morning, or
Yeah.
which would be last week for our audience, you said I sounded different.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I don't want to blame my, I also am getting 8 to 9 hours of sleep every night.
Oh, right.
And I feel like I'm a night owl. And I'm meant to stay up late and sleep in.
Right.
That's when I'm at my happiest, and I don't do that Monday through Friday. I stay up
Right, you have
late,
work.
and I wake up, and also have to get a kid to school.
Yep.
And I have to work out before work. Like, I get like 5 hours of sleep.
Yep.
And
You're more
I start
rested.
to just
the main thing
feel
is that
miserable.
You're more rested.
Yeah, I'm much
That's-
more rested. I feel so. I wake up when I'm done sleeping instead of when it's an alarm clock. I feel so
You
good.
know what? That makes so much more sense because when I left, I was like, she's on hiatus.
Yeah,
You're on hiatus. You get to
Yes.
sleep it out.
it's
So it's
feels
very
amazing.
different. Yeah. It's
I mean, I don't even think a lot of road comics live like this. Too. I mean, you're doing a lot of radio, or
Yes.
it's not like you always get to sleep in on the road, but
Yeah.
it just feels so good to get
Oh my gosh.
8 fucking hours, man.
Yeah.
Even 6.5 isn't. It's like almost good, but damn.
Today was a great day. I walked through I took the train down to 96th and walked through Central Park.
Yeah.
Snapchatted the whole thing, you guys. Get out there. So
you're just doing live video?
just live video.
Yeah. How's that different from Periscope?
It's because they're only 10-second snippets.
Oh, okay.
And
so
then
you're
they have
constantly
these-
having to re-record, hit record again?
Just hit, just essentially record it.
Okay.
And then there's filters. It's the shitty person's Fitbit, because there's a filter that tells you how fast you're walking while you're doing it. I'm having the time of my life, Lori Kilmer.
You know what?
So
that is the time of your life. Yes. That would
yes, I'm a simple
that would
woman
cause
of the
me deep
people.
despair.
Yes, if that was the time of my life, it would be quite devastating. So I go but my friend Kat, who I meet, a friend of mine from college, and she's working on a cure for AIDS.
Yeah.
No luck. I always ask her, I was like, how's it going over there? And she's like, what?
Is she
No.
at the Cure for AIDS Foundation?
She's at the Cure-
It seems like you're describing informally what is probably a highly
Well,
technical
it's
position.
highly technical. And she was like, do you want to come see my lab? She says, it's amazing. It's on like the 1,000,000th floor of the Mount Sinai building.
Yeah.
And she has a view of Central Park and the reservoir and the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building and the city. It's so gorgeous. And she's like, and look, you can see my apartment where I live in a dungeon from here.
I'm telling you, New York just makes my heart sing. I just love it, you know?
pretty great
and
sometimes.
when I lived here and I was just doing spots and stuff, I did get burned out, you
Yeah.
know? I mean, it just feels so exciting to come here and just pound out the comedy,
Yep.
you know? I just love it.
I mean, the number of sets I did tonight, I feel really good about them because they were all different sets.
Yeah,
And
different
they were
kind of
all the
crowds and
same.
stuff,
They
yeah.
were different crowds. And I did, the same 3 jokes I want to do. 2 of the 3 same jokes that I'm working on every different
Yeah.
set, but I didn't do. But I mixed it up a little bit, and they were all different crowds.
Yeah.
2 different kinds of crowds.
Yeah.
The Ophira Eisenberg
Totally
crowd,
alty kind of.
yeah, they were kind of NPR-y.
Yeah,
and there
right,
was
right,
a
right.
magician, and there was it was a variety
Oh,
show.
Yeah, sure.
And then Lucky Jack's here on Orchard.
Yeah.
That one was just they were like tourists, and
Yeah.
then young comedy fans. And same with the other one in Brooklyn. There were the like Adult Swim kids is what I tend to think of them as.
Yeah.
And then this is classic like 30s and 40s comedy fans who have come into the city to see stand-up.
In a club.
In a
They're coming
club.
to a club. They know
Yeah.
to go to a club and
It's a
not
2-drink minimum. We're doing it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't have I had all 3 sets tonight. It's weird because we just did a podcast this morning, so I'm
Yes.
like, well, what have I done since then?
In the last 8 hours.
But I did really work on all 3 of my sets, really taking my time on the abortion joke thing, the new thing, and really holding it and kind of playing around with it and not just racing through it, and that makes all the difference.
Yeah.
And when you're comfortable with the discomfort of the audience, then you
Right.
can play around with it.
Yep.
And it's fine. Then it's fine.
Then it's
you know?
fine.
When you're
Yeah.
racing through because you're uncomfortable with what they're going to respond
How
to,
they're
then
gonna-
it's not. It's really hit or miss.
I know. Tomorrow I'm doing these 2 sets in Queens, 2 very different clubs as well, QED
Yeah.
and the Creek and the Cave.
Yeah.
And then I'm coming back here, I think. Or no, I'm not. I don't know where I'm going.
I think you're coming. I thought we were on a show tomorrow together. No.
We might be.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, I think I want to try that grief chunk, which is too long.
Yeah.
And needs to be
Creek and
working.
Cave's a good place for something like that.
Oh, good, because it needs a place that's going to listen to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what, like, opening for Judah Friedlander, I haven't seen his long set in such a long time.
Yeah.
That I'm going to have to talk to him. What's he going to want me to do? Does he want me to go to the vault, or does he care? Who knows?
if you
Yeah.
does he want you to kill, or do you want just
no, just like, is it okay if I do new stuff? Is it okay? I mean, I'm sure he does not care.
I don't think he
How can he
cares.
possibly care?
Yeah.
He was doing Lucky Jacks right after me, and I
He
wanted
probably
to stay.
just doesn't want you to do crowd work, if anything, because that's all he
right.
does. Yeah.
Does he
but you
do a
don't
lot
do
of
a lot of crowd work.
I don't do any crowd work.
Yeah, then you're fine.
God
do
love
what you
them,
want.
but I don't fucking care. I don't want to talk to them.
Yeah, they're animals.
I want to talk at them. That's my big thing, is the talking at people. I got jokes to tell people.
Yeah.
And
that's
But
cool.
it's a 2.5 hour ride.
Yeah.
And you just reminded me, I can listen to the long sets. I've got backed up sets on my phone.
You can,
that I
but
have.
will you?
Will I? I
No,
know.
come
Maybe
on.
we'll bookend this. And because what I like to do when I listen to the sets, I like to log them.
What do you mean?
Do you log 'em?
No. What?
I do set. I write the set list out.
No.
And I take notes.
No.
No? You don't
no.
do that?
Really? I
Yeah.
mean, that's great that you do, but no
Just
fucking
in my
way.
notebook.
I
I
would
mean,
never
I don't
do that.
I don't spreadsheet it or anything.
All right.
It's not a dad fan from season 1 of Last Comic
Is
Standing.
that what he did?
According to I watched every episode of Last Comic Standing first season.
Wow.
I was on the 2nd, 3rd, and 5th seasons.
Jesus.
Yeah, guess what? I never made the house.
I was.
And every year the producers were like, "You're making it for sure. Will you come back?"
Oh, it was awful.
And I was like, "Come on."
I was on.
Why lie to me?
I was on the one that Amy Schumer. I was
Oh, were
like,
you?
not on. I didn't make the show, the house or whatever, but I was on the night she got picked. And
Right, the
producer goes,
semifinal.
"We'll take your face out of it," because apparently I was like, because I got a lot of good feedback,
Yeah.
and I thought I was gonna get picked. And she said, "Don't worry, we'll take the expression of your face out of it. No one will know you were in it."
I was
said, "Thank
standing
you very
next-
much."
I was standing next to Esther Koo when she got picked instead of me. And so I was
Well, the hard thing is when someone's been doing comedy such a little bit of a time.
yeah,
And,
for 11 minutes.
Yes,
And then
yes, yes.
and they picked her, and I genuinely thought to myself, I remember thinking, do I show my expression or don't I? And I was like, yeah, fuck it. And so there's this look at my face. I'm like, oh, I get it.
yeah,
And it's, I mean, and you know, going in that it's
Yeah.
a casting situation.
yes, yeah.
And
But you always tell yourself,
you tell yourself, and everybody always tells you.
yeah,
Like the production people are like, this year,
yeah,
it's going to be you. Is it? Is it going to be me? I don't care.
Yeah.
But I did get some work out of it. So
I remember when I was.
I never judge anybody for being on it.
I was
It's her.
That's an
It's
audience
her.
member. No, that's not my
She's-
crazy
she was
lady.
mine.
Is it? Oh, okay. Oh, she was a different. She was laughing too hard in a crazy way. And
Yeah.
that's a different problem
Yes.
than making racist comments
Oh, right.
during
Who
a
was
joke.
making the racist comment?
Oh, I'll show you when she stumbles out of here, crawls
and
on all
wasn't
fours
that three
up
top?
the stairs.
Was it the 3 Asian ladies in the front?
No. She was white and blonde, white
that's right.
blonde
She was
in a
one of the
skirt.
blonde white
Yeah,
ladies.
in a white tank top. And I only know because she almost fell right in front of me earlier.
Oh, crazy.
And it was her.
Yeah, this one has an off the
I
shoulder.
called her
business.
garbage, and everyone cheered.
That's because she said racist things.
Yeah.
Which makes you into garbage.
First of all, she said racist things. But even worse, she interrupted me to say a racist thing. What the motherfuck? While I'm
Right.
talking about my not
Mexican-
biracial but bi ethnic son.
Yes.
You know, like
yes.
What,
What part
on
of
no
that-
level did you? Why would you think I would want to hear that shit?
Right. Why? On what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Is it your 14th Long Island iced tea?
Probably.
What happened?
Yeah.
Somebody's writing. Somebody's writing on stage right now. Whenever anyone's screaming on stage like that, I'm always like, oh, someone's writing.
That's so Kinnisonian. Man, I think of that scream at least once a week. It's
Oh,
my
it's a good-
favorite thing.
oh, it's a good
when
one.
I can't take whatever.
Yeah, remember that Ethiopian joke of his? You're never there. It's always going to be sand. You know what it's going to be in 100 years? Sand. And then he screamed like that.
Move, yeah.
And he said, "Get your shit. I'll send a truck. You're coming to America. We
don't
have
know if-
deserts in America. We don't fucking live in them."
Here's the thing. I don't know. I think we might have had this conversation before, but that was also a Bobcat Goldthwait joke. They both had
really?
that joke.
Oh,
and
bummer.
I don't know. There was a fight over it. Like one of them thought
Was
the
there
other
a
took
fight?
it. It's like, yeah,
Because you're
I mean,
West
not a
Coast,
fist
you
fight,
knew
but
that.
they-
No. A
Yeah.
comedy fight.
yeah. But that was
It rarely comes to fisticuffs unless
No.
Joe Piscopo's involved, right? And then he just shows you his bicep because he worked out.
Then
Didn't
it's
he?
a doping fight. It's not even a comedy fight. Yeah. So I have. Let's see. So this is Wednesday. I got a bunch of sets Thursday. I just wrote all my spots down and then I took a picture of the. And that's how
Okay.
That's how I get to them now. And I think I have. The Broadway is now doing 25-minute sets instead of 20, and I think I have a really tight turnaround. So I might ask if I
sweet.
can move that and go up a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
so that I'm not late to another spot.
That's-
I think I was
is that
assuming it was a
tomorrow?
20. That's a tomorrow. That's a tomorrow situation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now you're on your phone, not
No,
giving
'cause
me your
now
full.
I want to know. Give me the full eyeball, because I want to tell you what I'm doing tomorrow.
Okay.
And oh yeah, Stand Up New York gave me a set on Saturday that I'm thinking of canceling because clearly they didn't want to give it to me.
Why?
It's at 5:45.
Oh, are you on a bringer? You might be
It must
closing.
be on a- I
if
must
you're
be on a
closing at a
bringer.
bringer, it'll be pretty good
Yeah.
because you'll be the only professional comic they've seen.
Right.
I mean,
which
it's
makes
like
me appear genius-like.
Yes.
Which is always nice,
Dude, it's-
but not what I'm
why
looking
would you-
for. Yeah.
Why would you turn down free fun?
It's true,
And you'll get
But
paid.
But if I get to go to see Hamilton, I won't. 'Cause
Oh
it's
come on! You're seeing it at LA already.
in November of 2017.
Have you worked at stand up yet?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Well,
So,
just don't
whatever.
Don't not take it. Take it, man. And then
Well, I got a midnight set at UCB Chelsea,
yeah,
and I have a relatively early flight on Sunday morning.
suck
But-
it up.
Suck it up, though. You don't have to just bring your luggage and go right to JFK.
sleep.
From there, you just 2 in the morning get to JFK, sit around.
You don't have to entertain a kid while you're on the flight.
It's
Jesus.
true. And maybe they'll. And the thing is I might be at Delta Sky Club if it's open overnight.
Yeah.
Maybe I can go take a shower at the Delta Sky Club at JFK
Oh, that's nice.
and fall asleep there.
Yeah. This is the
What?
lull.
This is a bit of a lull.
But you're looking at your phone, and I
was
don't
looking
have
at
a
my
story
phone.
to autopilot.
Well, I thought I was going up at the Broadway, but she never responded to me. So
It's not a she, so it's a.
that's part of the problem. I kept calling this man a woman. No, I'm kidding.
It's a. It's a. Well, I'll tell you later.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, there's one person for weeknights and one person for weekends.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's and then I'm home for 2 weeks. Pretty psyched about it. You're going on vacation, right?
I'm taking. Okay, yes, this has been a kind of a vacation with my son. You know, he's
Yeah.
gone out every single night. I don't know how much of a vacation. Next week we're going to.
Did you do a tourist thing with him today at all, or no?
No, we
You went to the pool.
There's a pool across. There's like a free city pool across from my apartment. So we went. We hung out at the pool. It was
That's
pretty
awesome.
fun.
That's
yeah,
good
it was
times.
Good. And
Did you go in?
oh yeah, I went in.
Good.
Oh yeah, I went in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then next week I'm taking him to Lake Tahoe. I
Go
got
skiing in August?
Yeah, to ski.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to go skiing.
Yeah, there's nothing to do on a lake in the summertime, Jackie.
Wait, what is it? Liquid? What happens
Lake
to
Tahoe?
the water? Yeah, I know.
I'm
I
gonna
get it.
hit you.
Yeah, don't
please.
hit me now.
Between
Don't
the
do it.
racist white lady, I have no time. I have no time for your Lake
You
Tahoe
don't have any
jokes.
patience.
No.
Do you want to know how many minutes it's been?
Yes.
You can't possibly know.
No,
It's not good.
Under 30.
Yep.
Fuck.
It's a beautiful.
I've talked too much today.
I know I'm a little scratchy throated. I had an ice cream sandwich, which is. I found out that sugar makes my throat scratchy. It's a fascinating story. Who wants to hear it again? Come on.
They have a great ice cream sandwich here at the stand. So next week I'm not doing any comedy at all.
No comedy. Taking
It's
the
just
whole
me
week
and my
off.
kid in a cabin that I got on Airbnb.
That's what you said when you went to Ireland.
I
You
might
picked
do
up a set.
if I can pick up a. I'm not going to turn down a set if I'm hunted down, but I'm.
Lake Tahoe has a shitty improv.
Give me the information
I will
afterwards.
give you. And when I say shitty, I just mean it's very, very touristy.
Yeah.
The house MC is
When you say
super
shitty,
nice.
you mean you don't feel like working it ever.
When I say shitty, I say no. Please still book me, but the it's a lot of tourists.
Again, you're yeah.
I'm just digging a hole.
That's
people.
okay. The Broadway has a lot of tourists. You know,
Yeah.
this I think this club has tourists too, but it feels like a real New York room.
But not Tahoe tourists. I mean, entirely different.
Yeah, no, these are people.
Yeah, like the comic strip was always hard tourists for me. That was
What
I
do you
used
mean
to do
hard
the,
tourists?
I used to do the comic strip a lot.
Yeah.
and it was more
On
Jer-
82nd and 2nd.
Yeah, it used to be a lot of Jersey.
Yeah.
It was weird.
You know what's real Jersey is Dangerfields.
Oh God,
I haven't done Dangerfields in a long time.
I did it once, probably 20 years ago.
They're 30-minute sets.
You know what's really Jersey?
What?
Atlantic City. Holy shit,
That
is
makes
that
sense.
Jersey? Have you ever done Atlantic
It's
City?
in Jersey.
I know it is.
Oh.
It's the worst. It's the only place I ever got bumped.
Did you work for Bob Kephart?
Yes, at the comedy
yeah, the worst.
spot.
Yes, I worked
And
it too.
And as I took the plane off, the agent called me and said, and I'd said to myself, I'll never do it again. And 2 days later, he was like, hey, do you want to do it again? And I was like, well, the check cashed. I genuinely, but I never did end up doing it again because it was the only place J.J. Walker, and I think I told you this, J.J. Walker emceed. He was supposed to headline.
Yeah.
But he decided to...
No, he never did that. He was always J.J. Walker and Friends. He never headlined. He always would MC.
Oh, did he always?
Yeah, that was his thing.
Okay, well,
I
then
don't
he
know
did it
why
there.
these... it was genius for somebody who can't do 45 minutes, but you're famous.
Yeah.
Just have an Anne Friends show. Get up,
Right.
do 5 minutes of jokes, and then introduce people.
Well, then I
and
did
make
20.
a $10,000 a week.
Yeah, and I did 20, and then Manny Oliveira. You know Manny?
No.
He's road guy,
Okay.
and he closed.
Yeah.
Does a lot of crowd work.
Yeah.
I was doing 20s, and Karen Rontowski had explained to me what Atlantic, because she used to do it 4 times a year,
Wow.
and so had learned it. And
She slept in a Murphy bed 4 times a year.
I guess it was.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a.
It was a Murphy.
It was a Murphy, but I didn't. For some reason, I never minded that condo because you were alone, and it was cleaned by a hotel staff.
Okay.
So
yeah.
that's why I think.
Yeah.
And but she explained to me. She said you have to do 40 minutes of material in 20 minutes.
Right.
And you have to open up your set by swearing a lot. And so
Oh.
I didn't realize that until Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I showed up, and on Wednesday, and so I had hard sets on Monday and Tuesday. And so Wednesday I show up, and the manager, it's a different manager. Same name. His name was Jack. It was weird. and
They killed the first Jack and moved another one in.
but the first Jack had called Bob Kephart and cut my time to 15. That's never happened in my life.
Wow.
And I stood there, and I felt like someone had punched me in the
Yeah.
gut.
Yeah.
And he said, don't take it personal. How else was I going to take that? And
Yeah.
first of all. Second of all, I stared at them for a second. I could barely breathe. And I said to him, I just have to go sit down for a second. And so I went and I sat down. You know, you were there. My career hasn't had that many, hey, you're not good at this kind of moments.
Yeah.
And it was that, and it was that guy, that fuck chop who reviewed me in Austin. And twice in 30 years. That's kind of
Wow.
a good...
That's not too bad.
That's not bad. Why don't I stop whining about those two things?
I just was reminded one time I was working in Alaska in Anchorage, and this guy named Paul, what the fuck was his last name? Lieberman. Paul Lieberman had a
Okay.
room there. And I worked it with Jeff Foxworthy, who was the
Okay.
headliner. And
Oh,
he was
wow.
he was doing these redneck jokes, but
Yeah.
it wasn't a thing at all, you know.
Oh, it was before?
Yeah, he just was, but he killed, you know.
Of course.
Super nice guy.
Yeah.
And so Paul, I had one joke about Nordstrom's.
Yeah.
Just one joke about Nordstrom's. This is me being a white woman from Walnut Creek, which is, you know, like the Pasadena of Northern
Nordstrom's.
California.
Yeah, it's a
so I have a
Nordstrom's joke.
Nordstrom's joke. It's kind of cute.
Sure.
So a woman saw me who worked at Nordstrom's, and she goes, "I want you to perform at our company party. It's an employee party." In the daytime. Or did you check the time?
Yes.
Don't check.
Don't check.
it
Just don't
during
check.
my story.
What? No, did I weed off on you? I'm so
Yes.
sorry. All right, look deeply into your eyes and tell me about
You
your Nordstrom's
retold a
joke.
story. I didn't check the time. I'm telling you a virgin story. You don't fucking check the time.
Oh, good call. Good call. Anyway.
this is my fourth set. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
I'm on it, man. No, so I get up and I do my Nordstrom's joke, and then I have 15 more minutes of material, so I just start doing other stuff. I'm like Nordstrom's. These are Nordstrom's salespeople. They're
Yeah.
either women or gay men. Like they're fine.
Yeah.
and they're laughing. But
They're
the
human.
woman starts. She does that thing, the motion across the neck, like
Oh, to
stop.
wrap it up and cut?
Yeah. And then she gets up, and I kind of wrap it up, and she gets up and she apologizes for my behavior. What? And then she complained afterwards. I thought you were gonna. I'm like, you saw my whole set. And she was a Mormon. There's a lot of Mormons in Anchorage, or well, there was one at least.
At least just one lady was vociferous.
But yeah, I mean, and then she started saying, "I thought you'd be like Jay Leno," and I'm like, "You saw me. I don't have a separate Jay
Right.
Leno act I'm sitting on that for $50
You
or
were
whatever
gonna be
shitty money
right
was."
for a nickel.
Yeah, but that was mortifying.
Yeah.
I wasn't used to displeasing people,
Right,
you know,
right,
and
exactly.
having that reaction. Did I tell you about Bob Nelson?
No.
Oh, what a dick. I hate
Who is
very
he?
few people in this industry,
yeah.
and he's one of them. He and Eddie Murphy a long time ago were part of a team act, and then Eddie Murphy, of course,
I am
went
always
on.
surprised to hear when people had team acts
Oh
in
my
stand-up
God.
comedy.
Well,
Andy Kindler,
oh, that's funny. With who?
some other guy.
Yeah. So Bob
Is it Andy
Nelson.
Kindler?
Yeah. So Bob Nelson is a Christian.
Okay.
So I'm working with him.
But not in the best way.
No, at the Funny
in
Bone in
a-
Charlotte. And so I'm featuring, and I at the time, I think I told you about this closer before, where I impersonated a penis that was trying to not have a condom put on it. And I do it in a child's voice.
Yes.
Jackie, it
It's just-
crushed.
it just crushed.
It was, I could have talked about the Armenian genocide for 25 minutes. I go into the talking penis. I'm the best comic they've ever
Right.
seen.
That's
Yes.
the best thing that's ever happened to him.
It's shameful, mortifying. Part of me is like, I wish I'd at that time had a half hour on Comedy Central. That's when they
Oh,
started,
yeah.
and then I'm like, no, that would be on TV for the rest of my life.
Forever.
Yeah. So, I do my set, but I'm clean. I don't swear
Yeah.
a lot. You know, it's just talking about a penis. It's
yeah.
and then
It's a thing.
he gets up and he doesn't say a word to me all week, but he every time he gets up, he spends like 2 minutes apologizing for me. I'm sorry. She was filthy. I'm terrified. I'm terribly sorry. And the audience is like, what? We kind of liked her.
What the hell?
Yeah, yeah. And then at the end of the week, his friend who managed his trunk full of bullshit.
Yeah.
He's like,
Merch?
hacky. Yeah.
Okay.
No. He brought shit out on stage. I mean, he's the worst.
Oh.
He's like,
He's kind of
a carrot
proppy?
top without trying, right?
Okay, yeah, without the
And
writing.
Apparently, it's some one football character that everyone's like, "Oh, it's great." Well, you know what? No one fucking cares about your
Nobody
football character,
cares.
you hack piece of Christian shit. So then, at the end, on the Sunday, the end of the Sunday, he goes. To a mystified audience, listen, I just want to say I've been saying some bad things, and I just want to say I didn't mean them, and I apologize. And again, they don't know what we're talking about.
You two are the funniest women alive.
There you go.
Paul
Please say that
Verzi.
into the microphone.
Mike Fenoya. Jesus Christ.
What?
My name is Mike.
Oh my God! Oh shit!
Paula Poundstone,
Come back here.
Comic of the Week.
I'm so sorry.
I get it all the time.
I'm so sorry. I apologize. And we just had an in-depth conversation like 2 nights ago when I didn't remember your name. Oh my God, I'm mortified.
Yes, Laurie Kilmartin.
And I remembered her name.
Yes.
That an NYU women's studies student came here and asked me to do an interview about female comedians. And I go, before I do, who are your favorite female comedians? And she said, Paula Poundstone. She said, Amy Schumer, if you call her a comic, she's more a movie star.
She's a comedian.
And I go, right now, hold on. I'm like,
Oh my God.
that's all you know. And I'm like, Lori, Lynn
Yeah.
Koplitz, you, Jessica
Okay.
Kierson, Sarah Silverman. I said, do your homework, and then I'll do an interview with you.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
Sorry.
all she wanted to do was talk about the negatives.
Oh my shit.
How come you...
Oh
how
my
come-
shit, that's
why
not
do-
even a sentence.
Why
What?
do female comics get less spots? How come they don't have more opportunities? And I'm like, you don't know...
What you're talking about.
She needs to listen to our podcast.
Right.
We
And
answer
you're-
that question
Let me-
every week.
I'd like
Paul
to.
Verzi said.
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm
Fenoya came in and said...
mortified.
"All guys are idiots."
Oh, you know what? On our first podcast, we said please tell us your name because we're so old we forget people's names now.
But you know what, though? I mean, I feel a little bit of... No,
Please
it's bullshit. It's
please
total
announce
bullshit.
yourself and your website to the American
My
public.
name is Mike Fenoya, Finoia.
There you go.
.com.
And do
yes,
it.
I'm a bald white man, but I'm not Paul Verzi. There's more than one. So you want
Right.
to talk about injustice in comedy?
It is the-
I'm the
oh,
worst
it
right
is.
now. A married, straight, middle-class, hippie, white man with
And you
no
were
hair.
born a man, right? So you're cisgender.
Yeah.
So I have this to say. When I was at this
I'm so
Black Lives
sorry.
Matter protest, someone came up and wanted to talk to me about what I thought about Black lives and why they matter. And I was like, "Who are your favorite Black people?" No, when the next
Sinbad.
time somebody
Paula Poundstone.
Bill Cosby. So the next time some women studies person comes up and wants to talk to you about women in comedy, I recommend you tell her to find a woman in comedy. Jesus H. Christ.
She said Amy Schumer if you call her a comic. And I'm like, wow, really?
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you call her a comic?
She
you
sounds like an
moron?
awful women's studies major. Thank you very
I have to
much.
say, literally, and I worked with you. I featured for you in Providence.
Yes, yes.
You did my show here at the state.
Yep.
I've worked with Lynn Koplitz and Jessica Kierson, and I think you four, Sarah and Maria Bamford, are all some of my
Do you know Erin
favorite.
Foley? Do you know Erin Foley?
I love Erin.
Do you know Karen
But
Rontowski? Do you know Karen Rontowski?
Yes. Oh my God, she's amazing. I worked
Yes.
with her in Ann Arbor, Michigan. She's a clairvoyant. And she
Right.
brings a dog with her, and everywhere she goes, she thinks is haunted. But, I mean,
What
you
if
guys
she's
did,
right?
I would
some
like-
of my favorites, honestly.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Whiplash the other night, you slaughtered.
Thank you.
I loved working with you. We had a
Yes,
great time.
we
We
did.
talked about juicing. Well,
Yes,
he's
and-
not going to talk about fucking.
No, not that guy. And I already told the story about the guy with the tattooed head. Remember the guy in the front row with
Yes. Oh my God,
he had
it got
hair
weird.
tattooed. Yes.
And he wouldn't leave you alone.
Yes. You can verify it
Like,
happened.
Are you going to be okay? Do you want me to? Paul Verzi wouldn't have. He has kids.
Oh, that was Paul Verzi, actually. Yes.
I love you guys both very much.
Thank
Thank you, Mike.
I appreciate it. Sorry about that.
We
Good night,
always
Mike.
said that we weren't going to have guests, but look at that.
Oh my God, I
It was
feel like
our
such an
first-
asshole.
Our first guest.
Why? Why?
It was perfect.
Yeah.
It was well.
And
it was
usually,
not.
I never say anyone's name because on the off chance I'll be wrong. But I'm like, I know that's Paul, and I'm like, I memorized how to say his last name Verzi because it's fucking spelled weird.
That was Mike.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's why I convince myself. I'm like, you know how to say Paul's last name. Fucking go for it.
Oh,
So I said, thank you, Paul
hilarious.
Verzi. And it's
I
like,
saw
it's
Big
Mike.
Jay Okerson, and he was like, "Hey, Jackie," and I said, "Jay." That's how I said it, and I was correct
You
because
sound-
he did not reject it.
Oh, that's good.
But that was you know what I have to say about that? It was a real clock eater. That was real nice.
Yes. What are we at?
41.
Nice. All right.
41.
We're
So we're
getting
doing
there.
pretty good.
Yes.
It might be
the
a short
waitresses are
episode.
dropping their checks right now.
That's perfect. Who's got the check spot? And
This isn't too uncomfortable.
I would like for the
switched my
record to
perch.
say that Karen Rontowski has never told me she's clairvoyant. She has a dog whisperer that can tell her what her dog is thinking.
Oh.
But that just seems to be a money suck.
Well, you know, whenever you get into tarot and all that,
people
it all
think that
becomes
she's-
one word. I think, yeah,
Okay,
clairvoyance.
for people,
yeah.
because she reads tarot cards.
Yes, yeah.
She's really good at it, actually. I don't know. I mean, I'm on board. I'm willing to try a thing. You can
You know
rattle
what?
the
We all
bones.
gotta lean into something besides
I'll
comedy.
carry a crystal and not tell you why. And so,
So
what are you reading? You reading anything good?
no.
Okay.
I've given up all my good habits this week. No morning pages.
No morning pages.
Nope.
Just sleeping it out and having a
sleeping
good
in,
time.
waking up with my kid, and
And having a fun day.
No
And then lots of-
insight. Still some guilt, like I'm letting him on the iPad too long, and but I'm like, it's summertime. This will be over. He's not allowed on electronics during the school year because
Right.
his
Oh,
grades
at
are
all?
horrible. Yeah.
Okay.
If he gets his grades up, he can, but. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who fucking cares? We're having a good
so
time together.
yeah, we're having a good time. He gets.
He's
to,
making me laugh. He's
he
a
was-
funny guy.
He was a funny guy. That last week's picture,
What?
we were laughing so hard because he kept popping into the selfie
Oh, I
that
know.
we were doing.
Yeah,
was
I feel
very
like
funny.
I feel like he's grown up a lot in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And he hangs around a lot of adults. He hasn't been around any kids this whole time. And next week it'll just be him and me and the bears and water skiers.
Oh right. So
He's
do you
in
guys
a very
water ski?
adult little boy. What?
Do you guys water ski?
Well,
Have you ever water skied?
I haven't, but it can't be too hard, right?
Right. You fall.
You just
You
hold
stand
on to
up
that
and
thing.
fall over and stand
Yeah.
up and fall over, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun
Why not
times.
give that a shot?
I want to have some other memory besides me going to a show.
Yeah, right. What was your childhood like? Well, I spent a lot of time in bars.
Yeah.
But get this, it's 2016. They're not smoky bars. He's not getting secondhand smoke.
True.
So that's good.
That's right. And millennials aren't having sex according to the news, so he's not being surrounded by sex or
Right,
anything.
and there's no coat. There's not even a coat room in this place where waitresses are getting action.
No.
So that's good.
I thought you said Coke Room for a second. I'm like, there might be one someplace around here.
There might be a Coke room. Coke is back. It's
I never did any of that.
I'm just doing sets in LA next week.
Yeah.
And for my birthday, Andy wanted to take me to Catalina Island, but I was like, let's stay home. So
You know what I'm doing?
What?
Okay, so after Tahoe, the next weekend, the weekend of August, like 19th and 20th, I guess, I'm at the Comedy Underground in Seattle.
oh right,
And I get to do long sets. You
Good.
know, I could do 45, 50, maybe an hour if I'm feeling it.
if you're feeling it, second show.
But you know,
Or one
the
show.
thing is like these sets are so short, and I'm eliminating jokes left and right to be tight. And you're doing a long set, you can bring back some B jokes or
yeah.
some supporting actors.
Yep.
You know, and
Flesh it out.
Yeah, where you can kind of. It's not so crunched together, and it's not like Tetris where every joke's coming right at you. You can sort of
Yeah.
just they can kind of float down instead of like fucking come down really quickly. So I'm looking forward to that. And then the August 26th, I'm driving up to Napa for a one-nighter
Oh nice.
just to go back up to the Bay Area. I don't know if I'll ever work in the Bay Area again because I don't have a place to stay anymore.
Right, and Punchline
I'm not
may or may
really
not put you up,
I know
or-
I'm not. I don't think I'm a name enough of a name to.
To fill the room? Well, this
I don't know.
podcast
I don't know.
is doing it. This podcast
I don't
is
know.
building your brand. The Lori Kilmartin needs to play. You could do Doc's Lab. They don't put you up, of course.
Yeah. So.
So
Well, that's San Francisco's an easy place to find a cheap place to. It's awful. It's horrible. Yeah.
it's a fortune.
It's a
And,
great Doc's Lab is a really great room too.
That is a really great room. Yeah, I was talking to Mark Normand, actually. We took an Uber together from Brooklyn from, I think, Night Train. And we were talking, because he opens for Louis C.K. and Amy Schumer.
Wow.
And I opened for Regan and Maria.
Wow.
And
you guys
but
got some
they're-
sweet gigs.
They're sweet gigs, and they're, you're doing 15 to 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And we were both talking about balancing that with your own headlines work. Because it's important.
Yeah.
You don't want to get lost
Yeah.
in someone else's career,
Yes.
even if you love them.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get lost in not doing the long sets, which are a delight.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing like headlining.
Yeah.
And really stretching out.
Yeah.
And getting to tell those sort of slow laughs. That's what I think of that. So I got some long stories in the middle where the audiences are like, because it's super punchy. I'll do 15 super punchy and then 15 super punchy at the end.
Yeah.
And then the 15 in the middle, I like to mix it up, and I like to try. The grief bit is good.
Yeah.
The stuff about the long stuff, some marriage stuff that's really long and needs more punchlines.
Yeah.
That can all get fleshed out in the middle.
Yeah.
And the audience likes to have a little break where they're still listening, they're enjoying the show, but they don't. But it's
Folks, I'm going to give you a break now.
break. Well, it isn't laughs per second. Do you
Yeah.
remember that in the 90s?
I still have that
late
on my
80s?
head,
That's
like
it's
laughs
such-
per minute.
Laughs per
Yeah.
minute. That's it. And what was the equation?
Oh, I don't even remember. It was
But
just
it was
like
dense. It
But
was
I mean,
super
it was
dense.
all oriented towards maybe like a Star
Set a
Search
punch.
appearance or something where
Yeah.
But it's helpful to be able to do that. I mean, if you look at America's Got Talent, you've got 2 minutes.
Oh, right.
It's a good skill to have, is to be able to write short jokes that explain
Yeah.
who you are.
Yeah.
And
Which are, those are all learned skills, and they're good. And they're good
Yeah.
skills. It's just craziness that there's so much to learn in stand-up comedy. When after I've been doing it for a million years,
I know.
we were like, oh wow, there's that whole other. Like this morning, last week, you mentioned slowing down.
yeah.
And I tried that tonight. I don't know if you can tell. Nope. But I did. A little. I slowed down a little. And so, yeah.
I remember some advice I read that Seinfeld gave.
Yeah.
So my Mike, I am so sorry.
Love you so much.
I love you too.
Love you
I
too. Take
apologize.
care, man.
Oh, what an idiot I am.
That's all right.
When you're doing a TV spot, pretend like you're talking to slow people, because you have a tendency to speed up because you're nervous and all that kind of stuff. And if you really slow it down and it feels abnormal to you, it sounds just right.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. And then my favorite, did I say it already? It was my favorite advice.
What?
Is how to end a TV set.
What?
Is because they usually ask you what's your last line.
Yeah.
Judah Friedlander told me this because I did a set 2 years ago. It was a TV set in Canada. They cut my last punchline. I feel like I've told this story, but whatever.
I think so.
But the last line, they cut my last punchline. It was very irritating. Judah Friedlander said, always tell them your last line is, thank you very much. Because then you're done.
That's great.
It's perfect. I
somebody-
told Dave Ross that before he went to do his TV thing.
Oh, that's great.
His tape set for Just for Laughs.
I won't say who told me this, but it's somebody that's really huge now was doing their Comedy Central half hour.
Yeah.
And
George Carlin.
no, it wasn't George Carlin.
Like he'd have a half hour.
Yeah, and like he'd mind at this point if I told the story.
Right. Not even Kelly would mind. Go.
Yeah. So the actual half hour is 22 minutes because of when they add in commercials, and so Comedy Central is kind of famous for cutting weirdly. Like you'll do a 30-minute set and they have to cut out 8 minutes, and they'll chop out punchlines.
They cut out my punchline on my Nebraska
That's
joke.
classic Comedy Central. And so this person did exactly a 22-minute set, and they couldn't cut anything. So it was exactly what he wanted. Now, I think they learn from that because now they make comics go back out and do another bit if they go short.
It was the year, 2003 was the year I taped mine. And everybody was trying to keep us close to 22 because of that problem.
Oh, really?
And then they sent them back out. I did 30.
Oh, man, this guy must have done this a while ago then.
Right, and I did mine, and I did 30, and they cut the punchline of my "Who said you could get out of the truck?" They cut that line out of my Nebraska joke.
Yeah.
So it ends with me saying that they should nuke North Platte, Nebraska.
Oh, that's
That's
right.
the last line.
It's not even. It's not a joke yet.
That's where Bin Laden lives, is where I said it. And we wouldn't miss it if we lost it.
Yeah.
That's how they end that joke. And then airline food or whatever the next fucking joke is. And I remember seeing it. I watched it and I wanted to burst into tears because I was like, dude, you're killing me.
You feel like everyone's going to judge you on that, and whenever anything
It's
like
crazy.
that happens.
I think we're at an hour. And if we aren't, I think we're fucking done. What do you think? Oh, shit.
What is it?
I don't know, but I pressed a button on the
Have we
machinery.
been
Kyle
recording?
wouldn't have done this. Let me just say, Kyle wouldn't have fucked
If
up.
we haven't been recording, we're just not going to have a podcast that Monday.
It's true.
We can't do this again.
I'm going to wait until... There's too much silence now. I can't make the machine work because it's now 12:30 at night, and I've been going since 8. And I didn't get a nap. Did you get a nap?
I didn't get a nap. I didn't need one. I had 9 fucking hours of sleep.
Oh, that's right. You had 9 hours of
had
sleep,
it all
and then you
going
hung
on.
out by the pool. But you had to be with the boy, and that was probably energetic, super energetic.
Yeah. Well, shall we call it?
Let's call it. Let's watch.
Has this been our worst podcast?
It might be. Feel free to email me, Jackie at JackieCation.com.
Sorry,
or
guys.
follow Annie Lordy 16 on Twitter.
We couldn't make it work. We had to do them all
All the
in
time.
a day.
Have a good one.
All right, bye.
Now leaving Nerdist.com.